See, I got this friend named Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo.
That's the worst name I ever heard.
Hi, Joey Jojo!
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle. Well, as promised last time, today I'm gonna be showing you the top 7 worst code names in the history of G.I. Joe.
Number 7. Worms.
Yeah, worms. What can you say, really? Not the most intimidating of creatures, are they? I mean, it takes Game of Thrones to make a man called Worm seem threatening. And this guy was a vehicle driver, and the toy he came with was called the Maggot. Yeah, you can see what they were going for here. Hasbro was doing the whole gross out thing. The reason that he's so low on the list is because the action figure itself is actually pretty damn good looking, and he came with an excellent vehicle, despite the names.
Number 6.
Shebang! Yep, I reviewed this guy already. What can I say, really? He's called Shebang! I mean, he's part of Ninja Force. Ninja. Ninjas are supposed to be stealthy, secretive. They lurk in the shadows and strike with deadly precision. So naturally, you want to call him Shebang! The only reason he's so low on the list is because I just love saying Shebang! Yeah, hey, it's my personal list, what do you expect?
Number 5. Cespool.
Another figure I've already reviewed. Yeah, Cespool. I mean, it basically means a barrel of crap. And the worst part about it is, this character chose that name for himself. Nobody else came up with it in the G.I. Joe universe. He decided he fell into a vat of, toxic waste. And yup, I'm calling myself Cespool from now on. Dude has issues. When you decide to call yourself literally a barrel of crap, you deserve to be on this list.
Number 4. Slug.
Hey, it's the character I reviewed just last week. Yeah, like I said then, Slug. Not the most intimidating of creatures, are they? I mean, what were they thinking? You saw the pictures last week, right? Sea slugs. Come on!
Number 3. Ice Cream Soldier.
There's a G.I. Joe character called the Ice Cream Soldier. I got nothing. Why would you... Who taught... No. Ice Cream Soldier. I don't think it's really sunk in for me yet. Ice Cream Soldier. Now, the reason that he is actually not number 1 on this list is because there's actually an explanation in the file card as to why he's called the Ice Cream Soldier. It's supposed to lull the enemy in a false sense of security. Hey, the Ice Cream Soldier's coming! That can be a threat! And it's sort of a pun considering he's a flamethrower guy and, you know, fire, ice cream. Yeah, you can see what they were going for. Still, it's a colossal failure if you ask me.
Number 2. Rip it.
It's a fart joke. That's basically it. They took the Hiss driver and made him an actual character called Rip It. Now, all the other characters on this list were actually from the original toy line. This one came later. That means that this character was actually marketed towards both children and collectors, while the original line had always only been marketed towards children. So, Rip It, a fart joke, aimed at 12-year-old boys and apparently adult collectors. Hasbro know what it did. Before we get to number 1, there's an honorable mention I should point out. All the times a character's name had to be changed because of copyright problems. That's why General Hawk for a brief time became known as General Tomahawk. or why CoverGirl all of a sudden was known as Agent Courtney Krieger. There's quite a bit of these in the G.I. Joe lines that came out after the 90s, and they all are just baffling. I mean, how do you lose a copyright to the Baroness, for example, and you have to call her Chameleon? So I'm all lumping those in one big ball and calling them the honorable mentions. Copyright-related name changes. They never not suck.
And the number one worst G.I. Joe codename of all time is... Skidmark.
Yeah, who didn't see this one coming? Poor Skidmark. G.I. Joe in the 80s and 90s was a toy line aimed at preteen boys. So naturally, you call a character Skidmark. Once again, they knew perfectly well what they were doing. Sure, technically it's a term for leaving tire marks on the road, but we all know what a skid mark really is supposed to be. I kinda have to wonder, did this guy pick his own codename, or was it picked for him by the rest of the Joes? In some cases it's not made clear. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that his codename was picked for him by a jury of his peers. Poor Skidmark. And that was my list. If you think I forgot anybody, just point it out in the comments. Well, I'll see you people next week for a brand new review. See you later, everybody!